In today's home training, we're talking about low point control, which is something that you have to do if you're looking to play this game to any sort of level. And we're going to give you some drills that you can do at home to help develop that skill. So welcome back to a very different settings for this particular video. I'm currently at home here in the UK on lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are limited as to what we can do. So I'm going to show you and share with you some of the things that you can do if you're in a very similar situation, confined to your home, but looking to work and develop on your game. And I believe that you can develop your game even though we can't get to any golf courses. The topic of today's video is low point control. Now, low point control is not a preference. It's not something that some would do and some wouldn't do. It's a must. If you want to develop your game and play some better golf, you need to be able to control the lowest part of your golf swing. The lesson plan today is to explain, first of all, what is low point control, and then second of all, what is needed at impact to achieve that, and then some drills that you can do at home to help you work and develop that skill. Just before we get started, if you've not watched one of my videos before, I'd love you to be part of the channel. It is free to subscribe. There is a link in the description box down below. Go ahead and click that, and a little bell notification as well, which means you'll be notified each time I upload a video. Let's get rid of the golf club to begin with. And what is low point control? So effectively, my golf club works on my body on a big circle, as you can see there. Every circle has a low point. And what we can do in a golf swing is how we move our body in our swing will basically move and control where that low point is. And you can see it can move forward and it can move back. We're not really going to discuss it too much in this video, but we can also have that low point moving down and up. So what do we actually want to have happen when we hit a golf shot? Well, when we're hitting a ball from the ground, so that's primarily your irons, but it would sort of also include hybrids and fairway woods. The lowest part of your swing has to happen target side of the ball. It's a must. And all the best players do this. The high handicappers, the people who struggle with strike, often have the lowest part of their swing happening too soon. Now, I've got a little hitting mat here, and I've got a device called a fat plate. If you don't have anything like this at home, you can just create something. You can put a towel down on the ground behind the ball. Just get a little bit creative. You just need something that's going to be behind either a golf ball that you're hitting or an imaginary golf ball you're hitting. I'm going to use an imaginary golf ball because I don't currently have a hitting net. That should be hopefully with me this week. So if I take a starting position and I want my club head around about the width of the club in front of the board, as you can see there. And if I take my starting position, so when I arrive at impact, there's a couple of things that really have to be present. I have to have my weight forward, and you can see that I've done that with a slight lateral shift of the hips. I generally would have to have the hand of the golf club forwards by some amount. It will depend a little bit on the club that I'm using and your style of swing. And I would also really need to have some amount of body rotation. And I'd also really like to have the elbows pretty close and the arms nicely structured. If I can do those things and I make some little swings from here, I'm pretty much always going to get the low point of my swing where I need it. What we'd often see at impact is the hips aren't forward enough, the handle is often in line with the club head if not back, and the body's not open enough. Now from here, if I try and strike the mat, it's going to be very easy for me to catch this little device behind the golf ball, which would suggest to me that my low point is a little bit too far back. So the first exercise, if you want to work on this, is exactly what I've just done there. Take your starting position just in front of that object that's behind the ball, whether it be a towel or something similar, and just preset impact. So hips go forwards, hands go forwards, hips rotate open, arms are structured, and then from there just make some little swings and be confident in striking either the ground or the hitting mat that you're using. Notice how when I stop at sort of 3 feet past the golf ball, I've still maintained this structured arm position. And notice the speed of those swings, very slow, very short, because we're looking to just create some feels and some awareness before we try and add any kind of speed. Once we are aware of what that impact would be like, the next stage will be to try and, from setup, make a little half golf swing. And just from here, can we rehearse getting to our desired impact position? And again, you'll notice I've stopped at impact. There's no speed there because I'm really now looking to sort of take that awareness that I've got of what impact should be like and almost try and connect the dots. So can I take a half golf swing and can I start to coordinate all those movements to achieve that impact position? That would be my stage 2. Stage 3, as you can imagine, would be halfway back and then starting to add a little bit of flow, a little bit of movement. So I'm now starting to blend those movements, and I'm still trying to be confident in striking the ground, but the movement I'm making is enabling me to control where that point is. And that's really the purpose of the lesson, is to give you some ideas and some drills on how you can control where the golf club makes contact with the ground. If you can do that, you can strike those irons much, much better. If you strike them better, you'll flight them better, they'll go further, they'll go straighter, they'll be more consistent, and that should result in lower scores. That was stage number 3. You can see that I'm still not quite at full speed, so stage 4 will be to try and take that through to a pretty full golf swing. So I'm going to take my address position here, and I'm going to make a pretty full backswing, and I'm going to go through and strike the ground. Now, if I've got a hitting net at home, I can introduce the ball, and I can do those same stages with the golf ball, but you don't need to. If you've just got some space like I have here where you can swing a golf club, you can start to develop these movements, start to become more comfortable with these movements, and then when the golf courses do reopen, you're going to be far more accomplished at making these different moves, putting these moves together, and ultimately hitting the ball a little bit more solid when you get on the course. So hopefully that video helps. If you're struggling with ball striking, trajectory, all that kind of stuff, consistency, this is something you can practice at home to help you with your golf game. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button. Very different video, appreciate that. I appreciate your views in this strange time. Hope that video was helpful. Would like to hear what you want to see. So comment down below, content you'd like to see whilst we're home, can't get to the golf courses, and I will try and produce some videos to help. Thanks for watching.